Hey everyone, this is Mr. Everything with a video on a pretty new product from Harbor Freight. It can't be that new because I found it online and then decided to go to the store and pick it up. This is this new Icon 1000 Lumen shop light. This one's really big. I mean, I can't even fit it all on the camera. And as I remove it, you can see it dwarfs all of these other Harbor Freight lights that I have. Put these off to the side. And this one's dual-sided. You got a UV light, which I rarely ever need that. You get your air conditioning refilled with some UV dye in it. Would be nice to have instead of going out and buying a new light. It's built in if you need it. Let's see here, USB-C. And then it's what I like about all the Harbor Freight lights is you can try them all in the package in the store. Really convenient. Get the Type-C cable. And see if I can get a better angle here again. This box is huge. So up to 1000 lumen. I guess it means 1000 if you have both on, maybe. I'm not sure. But it's saying 800, which is still plenty. And you're hopefully getting 4.5 hours on that with 17 on low. So I had the other Icon 800 lumen. That one was okay on the lower setting. On the big bar, there was a little one too. On the big one, on the lower side, I could get a few hours. But on the high setting, especially as it got older, I probably wouldn't even get an hour, but I could be wrong on that. But let's go ahead. I already cut the packaging. That's one thing that Harbor Freight's pretty bad at, is this packaging. It's very hard to open. It's sharp. I'd rather it just all be cardboard. Man, even I already tried to pre-cut it off camera and I'm still having trouble here. So I'm glad to get rid of this thing. And you can see here, it's not that heavy, so I'm pretty happy with that. So you can see you can completely collapse this over, similar to the newer Braun ones. This is really stiff. First I thought maybe I wasn't supposed to bend it that way, but it's just probably because it's new. I'm sure, I mean, you don't want it to be flopping around, but a little bit too stiff. I like the ratcheting of the Braun ones a little better. So it'll only go this far this way. You can use it as a bar light or then bring it flat. And it looks like you have a magnet here, so you can hold it here in addition to the magnetic base. So let's see here. Consult with this real quick. I don't even know if there's anything. Okay, there is a little bit of info. So it's a 5200 milliamp hour battery, so that's pretty big. You can get all your lumen ratings, your charge time, 5 hours, so I assume that's not fast charge. This Icon was also one that they kind of bragged about its performance and its Type-C charging, but it won't even work on a Type-C fast charger. If you use the Type-C, you got to use a slower, like 2 amp one. I guess that's why they're saying that there, or 2 amp I should say. You can see you have a spotlight button in addition to your regular button. Handle, hook, the UV light. And this is also a enclosed battery. So it's really not serviceable, though I'm sure if you're crafty enough and can solder, you could probably tinker with it. But out of the package for what it costs, I don't think there's any need to mess with it. And as affordable as these lights are, you're probably better off just buying a new one if this one would have a battery issue. And it is just a standard Icon charger. Again, since it's not fast charge, they give you the A. You can use one that's C on both ends, but then you have to plug it into a slower port. So you're probably better off just using this one. I just wanted to basically do this as an informative video and compare it to some of these other ones. This is the newer Braun. This is the original Braun. This one can just do that. It's not as bright. I still use it in the basement just to have an extra light. This is the better Braun that collapses either way. Now you only have a light bar on one side, but you can flip it either way, so it's pretty convenient. This one, the newer one's Type-C, that one's micro USB. And you do have magnetic bases on both. These lights are okay. These ones you can. I get the battery out. They're okay. This is probably the best light I have. It's not as convenient if you're going to hold it. You know, it's big, it's very heavy. But it has a really nice, big, strong magnetic base. This one's really good. Find something to... You can lay it on a flat surface, or better, obviously something metal. You can hang it, use it at an angle, do it from up top on a ceiling or something metal. What I like to use it for is our, I don't know if you call them door frames or whatever, they're metal, so I can light up a closet that doesn't have a light in it with a ton of light. So I really love this. This is about the same price. I believe this was $55 or $60. This right now is $60. I did have, again, the Icon 800 Lumen, similar to this. You know how that happens, and it's always the mechanic that steals it. It's missing, and I'm thinking I know who stole it, but I don't have it. That one was good, but you could only fold it this way, and then up. You couldn't go that way. And it had a little bar here, and then the bigger one. And there was a mod that I did that you could actually flip it and keep the bigger bar, I think, concealed, so it would be on this side. But again, that light was okay, but I think this one's a lot nicer. So I'm going to focus more on this. This is the regular color tone, and you can see that this one is more that warm tone. So I don't know how necessary, again, it is with one that folds this much to have a bar on each side, but since they serve different purposes, especially when you're detailing inside of a black car, that black carpet, like, it just, no matter how bright your light is, you always have to use it on the max brightness because it just like absorbs the light. It's just hard to see, like, to a tan or a beige or like a lighter color. You can basically use it on low and still easily see what you're doing. Then you have this inspection light here, which I probably won't ever use that. Nice metal hook here. I like that the bearing in it is metal. It doesn't look like it's going to easily pop out. So I think you're pretty secure on that. Magnetic base. Oh, cool. Boy, that sure is bright. Turn off this other light. Okay, the UV is right in here. Okay. So one press is that light, one press is that light, a third press is both, and then one more for the UV. And I'm assuming this one is the ones that just have like one bar. Usually you cycle through high and low, high, low, the tip, to where I think this one you press and hold it. So let's see. Yeah. And then it appears to blink once it reaches either minimum or maximum. And the neat things, you can just hold it. Maximum. There. Now it goes down. It cycles. So you don't have to worry about where you're at. You can just kind of hold it, and once you get that flash. So that's a pretty nice idea too. I'm sure it's the same with this. It is. Obviously it's going to be the same. Let's see if the UV is adjustable. It doesn't appear to be. That's something you probably would only use it on that one setting anyway. And let's try something here. put this one on the brightest. Okay. And then let's put this one on the dimmest. And let's see if it retains that. That's pretty bright. That's pretty dim. I know the other one was bright, but let's see. I'm going to hold it again. I think it did retain that. So that's really nice if it... again, this is a first impressions video. I don't want to go too crazy here. But it does look like if you keep this like a certain brightness level, you can still shuffle through them, and then it'll retain that brightness for that specific light. If that's the case, that's really nice. And let me try one more thing. Let's just say you're using it. And all the Braun lights, all the Icon lights do this, so I'm hoping this does it as well. Once you set it down for probably 10 seconds, when you touch it again, it just shuts off. It doesn't cycle. It looks like this one cycles. So that's the only thing so far I don't like. Now, I didn't give that too long to... I also actually want to try one more thing. If it doesn't turn this one on when it's closed. This is kind of a trial and error thing. But it does look like... yeah, it won't turn that inside one on. It just skips it until you open it that much. So that's not... okay, there's the switch there, somewhere here. Yeah. So that's nice. I mean, you would probably see the light emitting through it, but it might melt in here if it's on high. I'm sure this gets pretty warm. And let's look at this one too. Pretty bright. So this one doesn't have a brightness adjustment. It's just on and off, which is absolutely fine. It's quite a flood. Yeah, you can see that's a pretty wide beam there. And this is the newer one. It's the better one. High, low, the tip. Tip on this doesn't have near the beam pattern. As you can see, this is a lot cheaper. I think this is like $30. And if the holidays coming up, I believe all Braun's 40% off, and there's always coupons for Braun anyway. So you're getting a much better light here, as you would expect. And I'm going to about end it here, but I want to talk for a little bit, because I just want to leave this on for about a minute and see if it shuts off or if it's going to cycle, because that's the only flaw I can see so far, which is not that big of a deal. So here's your Type-C charge port. Obviously, here's your battery indicator. When it's plugged in, it'll blink to kind of give you 25% increments of where you're at. It looks like everything else pretty much as all the Icons and Brauns are. I'm very happy with it. I had a 25% off coupon just because I guess I haven't been in a while. So I used it on this and only paid $44. Since it just came out, I don't know if there'll be a Black Friday deal on it. But it's at full price, $60, not a bad deal. The guy paid around $50 with a coupon for this, and I really like this one. And this should be better in just about every way. Okay, so I think it's been a couple of minutes that I've left this on. So we'll say you were doing a project. If you press it again, I'm curious if it just shuts off. No. Okay, so that's the one flaw I have with this light. When it's concealed, or I guess you could say concealed, but so you're using it like this, you're going to have to cycle through all that to turn it off, I think. I have to lift that on. See, that one just shuts off. That's how all the other ones work. It would be the same with this. That's why I'm so surprised that this doesn't have that. Usually, I think it's 15, 20 seconds. After that, no matter what setting you're on, it shuts off, and then when you turn it back on, it reverts to wherever you last kept it. It seems with this one that you have to cycle it the whole way through. Maybe I'm just missing something, or there's some way to change that, but it so far doesn't seem like it. That tends to be something with your cheaper lights. You know, everyone hates the strobe and the SOS, and that's in the cheaper lights. You have to go through it every time. People hate that. All the Harbor Freight lights never had that. They would retain their memory. It did seem like it retained the memory for the brightness when you cycled through. I'm not sure over time if it'll lose that or if it keeps it permanently. But so far, that's the main thing that's really disappointing, is it looks like you'll have to cycle through it every time to shut it off. And then you'll start on the original sequence again. From what I can tell, if I'm wrong, I can update that in the comments. That would be my only flaw so far of this first impressions, and that's something that can be very easily fixed in a second production run to add that feature in as well. But I'll leave that there. I actually kind of went way more in depth than I thought. If there's the interest, I could show like maybe using it in a vehicle. If you can hang this from like the coat hook or the handle, you know, you can obviously stick it under hood or in a door jamb or something, or under a car on the frame or something like that. But I think that gives you a pretty good idea what you can expect between all of these. This is probably the best one out of this selection, and it's not crazily priced. The Harbor Freight's prices are unfortunately going up, but their quality is too, and they're having a lot of more innovative designs. And when you consider the price of Snap-on, you know, something like this would probably be $200 or $300. And we have a Snap-on light that's very similar to this, and I'm sure it was at least $100, and it was nowhere near this well made or this bright. So yeah, you're paying more than the bronze. You're paying way more than what any Harbor Freight product was 5 years ago. But I do think your quality has gone up significantly as well. So hopefully that was helpful and answered a few questions you might have, and at least informed you of this nice new light that is another option you can pick up from Harbor Freight. So thanks for watching, and you'll see me in the next one. Have a good one.